West Hobart, a name that sends shivers down the spines of those who know its secrets. This seemingly serene suburb hides a chilling past that few dare to speak of openly. Nestled in the foothills of Mount Wellington, this Tasmanian suburb seems harmless enough at first glance. The picturesque landscape with its rolling hills and tranquil streets paints a picture of idyllic suburban life. Quaint cottages line its streets. These homes, with their charming facades and white picket fences, seem to belong to a different era, a simpler time. Gardens bloom with vibrant colors. The residents take pride in their well-kept gardens where flowers of every hue burst forth in a riot of color, adding to the suburb's allure. But beneath the surface, a darkness lingers. As night falls, the atmosphere changes. The once welcoming streets take on a more sinister air, shrouded in shadows and whispers. A history steeped in whispers of the supernatural. Old documents and photographs hint at a past filled with unexplained events and eerie occurrences that have left an indelible mark on the community. West Hobart has long been considered a hub of paranormal activity. Stories of ghostly apparitions and strange phenomena have been passed down through generations, each tale more chilling than the last. Tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena have circulated for generations. Residents speak of seeing shadowy figures in their homes, mysterious lights in the night sky, and hearing footsteps in empty rooms. Locals speak of cold spots in their homes, objects moving mysteriously, and disembodied voices echoing in the night. These experiences have become a part of the local folklore, adding to the suburb's eerie reputation. But perhaps the most unsettling of all these stories is the legend of the haunted house. This house, with its overgrown garden and broken windows, stands as a testament to the suburb's haunted past. This isn't just any haunted house. It is said to be a place where the boundary between our world and the next is perilously thin, where the spirits of the past still linger, unable to find peace. This is a place where the veil between our world and the next seems to wear thin. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures in doorways, feeling an oppressive presence, and hearing whispers that seem to come from nowhere. A place where a family's sanity unraveled, consumed by something sinister and unknown. The house's dark history includes tales of a family driven to madness by the malevolent forces that reside within its walls. The house stands as a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between reality and nightmare can blur. Its decaying structure and eerie ambiance serve as a stark warning to those who dare to venture too close. And the truth, when it finally surfaces, can be more terrifying than any ghost story. The revelations about what truly happened in that house have left the community in shock, forever altering their perception of their seemingly peaceful suburb. Local newspapers have chronicled the eerie events, and historians have tried to piece together the truth from fragments of the past. Yet the full story remains elusive, shrouded in mystery and fear. Residents who have experienced the paranormal firsthand often speak with a mix of fear and fascination. Their stories add to the rich tapestry of West Hobart's haunted history, making it a place of intrigue and dread. Despite its dark reputation, West Hobart remains a beautiful and vibrant community. The contrast between its serene daytime charm and its eerie nighttime atmosphere only adds to its mystique. West Hobart, a suburb shrouded in shadow, where the past and present intertwine, and where the line between the living and the dead is often blurred. It is a place that continues to captivate and terrify, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. The stories began in the 1980s, whispers at first passed from neighbor to neighbor. It started as mere gossip, a tale to share over fences and in hushed tones at the local market. But as the whispers grew, so did the sense of unease that permeated the community. Strange occurrences plagued a particular house in West Hobart. Lights flickered erratically, casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. The house, once a charming abode, now stood as a beacon of dread. Neighbors would often glance at it with a mix of curiosity and fear, wondering what unseen force could be causing such disturbances. Furniture moved on its own, chairs would scrape across the floor in the dead of night, and tables would shift positions as if guided by invisible hands. The family living there would wake up to find their belongings in disarray, a constant reminder that they were not alone. The residents, a seemingly ordinary family, became withdrawn and secretive. They stopped attending community events and rarely ventured outside. Their once warm interactions with neighbors turned cold, and they spoke in hushed tones, as if afraid of being overheard by something or someone. Their once bright eyes now held a haunted look, Dark circles formed under their eyes and their faces grew pale and gaunt. It was as if the very essence of their being was being drained by the malevolent presence within their home. As the years passed, the rumors intensified. Stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena spread like wildfire. Each retelling added new layers of horror, and soon, the house on the hill became the stuff of local legend. People claimed to see shadowy figures lurking in the windows of the house. These figures would appear at odd hours, their forms barely discernible but undeniably present. Some swore they saw faces peering out, eyes filled with malice and sorrow. Unexplained noises from blood-curdling screams to chilling laughter echoed from within. The sounds would pierce the stillness of the night, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard them. It was as if the house itself was alive, its walls reverberating with the anguish of trapped souls. The once peaceful neighborhood became consumed by fear and suspicion. Neighbors began to distrust one another, wondering if the evil that plagued the house could spread. The sense of community eroded, replaced by a pervasive sense of dread. Parents warned their children to stay away from the house on the hill. Tales of children who ventured too close and never returned became common, serving as cautionary tales to keep the young ones in line. The house became a forbidden place, a dark spot on the map of their childhood. Even the bravest souls avoided walking past after dark. The street that led to the house would be deserted at night, a stark contrast to the bustling activity of the day. Those who had no choice but to pass by would quicken their pace, their hearts pounding in their chests. The house became a symbol of the unknown, a tangible manifestation of the town's deepest fears. It stood as a reminder of the mysteries that lay beyond the veil of the ordinary, a place where the supernatural and the real world intersected. But amidst the growing hysteria, a few brave individuals dared to seek the truth. Paranormal investigators, thrill seekers, and skeptics alike ventured into the house, armed with cameras, recording devices, and a determination to uncover the secrets that lay within. Their findings, however, only added to the enigma, as they captured inexplicable phenomena that defied logical explanation. The house on the hill remained an unsolved mystery, a place where whispers on the wind told tales of the unknown. The house itself was an imposing structure, standing tall and foreboding against the skyline. Its silhouette was a stark contrast to the serene landscape that surrounded it, almost as if it were a sentinel guarding some dark secret. A Victorian-era mansion perched atop a steep hill, overlooking the town below. From this vantage point, it seemed to watch over the town, its presence both protective and menacing. The townsfolk often spoke in hushed tones about the house, as if afraid that even mentioning it too loudly might awaken whatever spirits resided within. Its once grand facade had fallen into disrepair. The garden, once meticulously maintained, was now a tangled mess of overgrown weeds and wildflowers. The house, which had once been a symbol of wealth and status, now stood as a testament to the relentless passage of time. Paint peeled from the walls like shedding skin, revealing the raw, weathered wood beneath. The elements had taken their toll, and the house seemed to be slowly crumbling under the weight of its own history. The windows, most boarded up, stared out like vacant eyes. They seemed to follow you as you moved, giving the unsettling impression that the house was watching, waiting. The few unboarded windows were grimy and cracked, offering only a distorted view of the world outside. Those who dared to venture inside spoke of a palpable sense of dread. The air was thick with an oppressive atmosphere, as if the house itself were alive and aware of their presence. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind through the broken windows, seemed to carry a warning. The air hung heavy, thick with the stench of decay and something else, something indescribable. It was a smell that seemed to cling to your clothes, your skin, long after you had left the house. It was as if the house wanted to leave a mark on you, a reminder of its existence. Time seemed to stand still within those walls, as if the house itself existed outside the normal flow of time and space. The furniture, covered in a thick layer of dust, looked as though it had not been touched in decades. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly drapes, and the silence was so profound it was almost deafening. As investigators delved deeper into the history of the house, they uncovered a series of tragic events. Each story was more harrowing than the last, painting a picture of a place that seemed cursed. The more they learned, the more they felt the weight of the house's dark past pressing down on them. Previous occupants had met with untimely ends, from fatal accidents to unexplained disappearances. The photographs, yellowed with age, showed faces frozen in time, their eyes filled with a mixture of hope and fear. It was as if they knew, on some level, that their time in the house would be their undoing. The house seemed to hold on to the darkness, absorbing it into its very foundation. The basement, in particular, was a place of unspeakable horror. It was said that the very walls were stained with the blood of those who had perished there. The house, it seemed, was not just a structure of wood and stone, but a living entity, feeding off the misery and fear of those who entered its domain. But the truth, as it often does, lay hidden beneath the surface. The family living in the house wasn't haunted by ghosts or demons. They were victims of a far more insidious and earthly threat, a silent poison, slowly unraveling their minds and bodies. The culprit, Datura, a seemingly innocuous plant with a dark secret. It thrived in the overgrown garden surrounding the house, its beautiful, trumpet-shaped flowers masking a deadly neurotoxin. Unknowingly, the family had ingested the poison, mistaking it for a harmless herb. Datura poisoning, they would soon discover, was a horrifying ordeal. It induced hallucinations, delirium, and paranoia. It could mimic the symptoms of insanity, leading to erratic behavior and violent outbursts. The family's descent into madness wasn't a supernatural curse. It was a tragic case of accidental poisoning.